went back, dusted up my copy of the commission report and looked at the recommendations. Many of the things we saw play out in the Blakema North are things that you had dealt with quite comprehensively in your report on the back of the commission's work. Talking about the security, the conduct of the security, talking about the intelligence work that must go into every elections, whether it's a by-election or 19 polling stations. And you saw what was happening with the police, for example, on the ground. Kudeu had condemned the actions and criticized what they had done. And you wonder, where was the intelligence? And because again, your report clearly, in many bullet points of serious recommendations on the back of written line, told the police step by step what should happen to avert that sort of violence. It doesn't appear that any of that was even factored in the planning of this by-election and many that we had in the 2024 elections.
Exactly, you captured it correctly. The report emphasized rather strenuously the importance or imperatives of intelligence in elections. Look, let's be clear. All the violence that happened at elections were pre-planned. All elections were pre-planned, very often orchestrated, designed, and implemented by persons involved. And so if we begin seeing elections as a threat to national security in themselves, the intelligence system of Ghana will have to be proactive, will have to be ahead of elections and not follow elections. If you follow the premise, given the evidence that we had at the commission, and given the experience we've had in Ghana since 1992, what happened recently shouldn't typically have happened. In other words, there should be clarity on the fact that the people involved did not just wake up and spontaneously engage in what they engaged in. These were things that were orchestrated or persons who had decided to disrupt the process. And so if we have proper intelligence, the expectation is that this should have been captured by intelligence. And as captured as it was, it could have been nipped in the bud or in the minimum anticipated and therefore warded off before they actually completed whatever it is they undertook. So it was a clear case of intelligence failure. I mean, these things just don't happen typically. People act in concert, people act together, people plan it and pre-plan it, and it was intentionally orchestrated. This is something that has been implemented and articulated before the election itself, as it were, came on. So again, it's regrettable that we have a report that responds to all these. If you read the report, you just see these things clearly deployed in letter in the text of the report. The reason we are not implementing the report for many years since it was published remains not only an enigma, but quite baffling.